The pandemic brought many challenges, but there was some good in amongst the mix as students, regardless of family income, could get free meals at school. But like many pandemic programs, that may be changing soon. THV11's Ian Russell looks at a couple of different districts across the state who worry about that money going away.
Feeding students is synonymous with school, and child nutrition waivers started during the pandemic to keep students fed for free. But those are set to expire, something superintendents in our area say is concerning.
So it's very important to the Bauxite School District to make sure our students are fed with nutritious meals.
Bauxite Superintendent Matt Donahue is starting to feel a little worried.
It's definitely a concerning, and it's at the forefront of all school district leaders' minds.
That issue centers around here, the cafeteria, more specifically the meals students are served. They've been free for students during the pandemic, allowing districts to keep students fed who may not know where their next meal is coming from.
We realize that so many students are not able to eat a nutritious meal or a meal period unless it comes from the school district.
But that's set to end in June. Without it, Donahue says some students may not be able to eat. It's not just a concern in Bauxite, it's statewide.
It's dire to our families and to our kids that are not only in our schools, but also in our community feeding programs.
John LaFoon is the superintendent of the Farmington School District, but also the vice president of the Arkansas Rural Education Association. He's spearheading the push for the extension of those waivers.
I'll put it this way, if this ends on July 1, where we're able to feed kids, then we're going to have kids kind of fall off a hunger cliff.
The issue goes bigger than just feeding kids for free. With the price of food so high, if the waivers go away, then that increased cost has to translate to the price students are charged for lunch.
And that's going to drive up the food costs in our schools, and the families that already are having trouble accessing food are going to have to face that issue.
It's why whether you're in Bauxite or Farmington, Little Rock or Jonesboro, LaFoon says this needs to be extended.
And I think that's the big picture here to me. We're feeding more kids because it's accessible to them. And so right now, we need to continue to support our families and our communities and make sure we're feeding kids.
Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
Ian, thank you. Now remember, this is a federal program, so it's DC based. Both superintendents say they've been in contact with the elected officials in Congress about extending those waivers.